Because every time I talk to somebody, I'm like, do you know Brandy? And they're like, Brandy Melville? I'm like, no, bitch. Brandy
And
Norwood.
that's the
The vocal Bible.
uncultured people.
PenPop.
Hello, my name is Ary.
My name is Dante.
And this is head to the E to the N to the P-O-P. Today's song, and you know what I'm feeling? I'm feeling up like I'm sitting in my room. Today's song is by the vocal Bible, the OG Cinderella that was possibly Why You All the Way Down There?
Why are you down there? Please do that.
Let's get into the vocal layering of Brandy Norwood's Sitting Up in My Room.
Sitting up in my room, thinking about you. I must confess, I'm a mess for you. Sitting up in my room, thinking about you. I'm just a mess with a thing for you.
Released on December 12, 1995, Sitting Up in My Room was the second single from the Exhale soundtrack, an all-star film and soundtrack starring Whitney Houston, Angela Bassett, Loretta Devine, and Lela Rochon, about 4 women in their 30s navigating relationships to find the committed man they can exhale with. You know, breathwork's so important. The soundtrack songs were executively produced and written by Babyface Edmonds, with songs by Whitney, Patty, Mary, TLC, SWV, Aretha, Tony, Brandy, and more.
Selling 12 million plus copy, generating 5 top 10 hits in 5 weeks at number 1 on the album charts. Brandy was a newer artist sitting with the music legend, empowering a whole new generation of Black women on the silver screen and radio waves. And without further ado, let's get into these lyrics.
I'm in my pan.
Alrighty, everyone, it's time to get your pens out.
Okay, that's right. What was our first impressions on Sitting Up in My Room? Like I said, we are experts on that because I'm always sitting up in my room working, doing group projects nobody contributes to, filming this podcast, doing content nobody watches, exercising, doing crafts, yoga, breath work, doing vinyl walls, decorating for Christmas, being Delulu, listening to albums, reading. Like, if you know me, like, my room literally is everything.
Sanctuary. There was a fight in my household because everyone was like, why don't you talk to us anymore? You're always in your room. And I said, well, baby, when you're working towards greatness, you can't just be talking to people, propaganding yourself around. You gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta keep a high vibration on.
And that's in my room. And when Brandy said it, I took it to heart. Sitting up in my room. Okay?
Absolutely.
And that's exactly. I took the words, I took the videos. All I need is I got the cassette players back there. I got, what else do I need?
You got the coffee machine.
I got the coffee machine, the printer.
All you need is a fridge.
Pretty much. And a cooking table. Oh, I can cook
there. We both got the hula hoop workout thing. Okay? Like,
let me tell you, that shit is good. You move side to side. It really don't make you sweat much, but it makes you move. Okay.
I gotta try it tonight. I do.
Did you try it?
I discovered it a little bit after the pandemic on Disney Plus. We were using that membership, okay, and I just immediately got infatuated with Whitney's movies and Brandy, especially like Moesha on Netflix, and just listening to all her albums. I found it on cassette, the whole soundtrack. Brandy, I have some of her stuff, but it's really hard to find. I'm still looking for Full Moon on CD, and that's all I have. We start with that beat, the doom 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 doom. It's kind of like a plucking of I don't know if it's a guitar or a synth, but it's definitely a plucking moment.
She's plucking something.
And then we have a nice little synth to go, and go into her. Seems like ever since the first day we met, there was no one else I think of more than you.
It's kind of self-explanatory, but when you have that person that you like, for love at first sight, you're like, wait a minute, wow, you're thinking for them about like days.
You be Delulu. You write them in your journal, and you imagine every different situation.
And that's what you're saying here. I think of more than you. There's no one else I think more than you.
Can't seem to forget. Can't get you out of my head. Now, Kylie, why is Kylie stealing from Brandy? Can't get you out of my head. La la la. Kind of what we said before.
Can't seem to forget. Can get you out of my head.
Guess the verdict's in. I'm crazy over you.
Also, get out of my head.
Enough. That is not what she implied.
I agree. I don't think that's what she said at all. But anyways.
Stop proving Greg right.
I think he had several points when he said that. Just the verdict is, I'm crazy over you. Okay, the verdict's in. Bitch, you're crazy over that man. Go get him, get with him, and just do what the head do. How can one be down? Tell me where to start. Told you.
No.
Told you.
No, clearly she's referencing her song, I Wanna Be Down.
I wanna be down. I wanna be down.
So, she's saying, I want to be down, so tell me where to start.
How can one be down?
Down,
as in like
down for the relationship.
No, how can
down
one be down?
to be together.
Tell me where to start. I also think, how can one be depressed or sad when you have that person to think about? How can one be so delulu?
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
So you have that good thing going for you. Why do you need to be sad? There's no need to be sad. Tell me where to start.
I thought she was saying, like, how do I like not be delulu and make this a real thing? Like, she's trying to like put it into action. So she's saying, like, I thought she was trying to tell the person that, like, I'm down to be together.
Oh yeah, it could be like, too. Yeah.
Like, how do we start?
How can we start? Tell me where to start. I saying where to start. Like I said.
Enough.
Okay, because the next line is, because every time you smile, I feel tremble in my heart. So I think she's saying, like, I can't feel down or sad about it because you bring joy into my life. Because every time you smile, I trembles. If I feel trembles in my heart, like she's so quivery and
she got the butterflies,
like, that excitement, that fulfillment. She's saying, "Girl, don't worry about it." Okay.
I have but one concern. How can I get with you?
Exactly.
Till my day comes. Here's what I'm gonna do.
I bet.
So, I mean, basically what we're saying, like, she's trying to get with him. And until she figures that out,
she's going to
be sitting up in her room because we're going to the court.
Well, why in my room?
In my room.
Sitting up in my room. Oh!
I think she's like a teenager.
Sitting up in her head. She's like just figuring everything out in her head.
It could be a metaphor. I don't know. It could be a metaphor for the imagination, but I just figured, like, she is a teenager and she's, when you get home from school, she's just in her room.
I guess that's true.
Back here thinking about you. But see, that might align with the metaphor of the head, because it's like the back of the head. In the back of her head, she's thinking about him.
Exactly.
I must confess, I'm a mess for you. Be sitting up in my room. Back here thinking about you. I'm just a mess with a thing for you.
Yeah, like she's saying, I'm up here thinking all the things I could do with you. I'm gonna stay back here sitting in my room until things actually happen. Manifesting queen. She's just really having it here.
That's how you manifest. You gotta be Delulu. You have to believe it's true.
She's trying to manifest that reality, and he's waiting for her. She's waiting for him to do the first move so that it can be real. And until then, I'll be sitting up in my room.
She admits, I'm a mess. And I'm obsessed over
with
him.
a thing for you.
Second verse. Pray that you'll invest.
I love that line. I love that line.
I love that.
Pray that you invest in my happiness. Pray that you would. I love that.
She is really delulu. She is praying to God. She's like, please.
Depends on him for her happiness. And again, going back, why would I feel down when he gives us so much energy? So
yes,
pray that you'll invest in my happiness so that you give her something she can't have for herself.
Love.
Yeah.
Yes. Mutual connection. All it takes is just one simple call from you.
There you go.
Turn my heart around if I'm making ground. Pretty baby, please tell me if I'm getting through. So if she's making ground, like, is she making progress in their relationship of becoming official together? Are we making progress or are we just being delusional?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm getting through.
Next pre-chorus. Tell me what is up. You see, I need to know. Tell me if I'm far or if I'm getting close. You see, I need to know if he likes her.
Yeah.
Like, what's up? Like, do we like each other? Is this a mutual thing? Like she's trying to make it happen, Mariah.
But I think it's also like, don't waste my time. Do I really just see a future with us, or it's just going to be like wasting time? I'm just imagining things in my head, sitting up in my room. No. So let me know, because I need to know. Tell me if I'm far or if I'm getting close.
And I just love the way she sings it. Like, she's like,
I have but one concern. And one concern is you. Till I'm with you, here's what I'm gonna do.
She goes like up and down. I love it. I have one concern, and that one concern is you. Till I'm with you, here's what I'm gonna do. Sitting up in my room. I've been thinking about you. Must confess, I'm a mess for you. Be sitting up in my room. Back here thinking about you. I'm just a mess with the thing for you. And this would go into all the ad libs. And then we go into kind of this like bridge part, and you hear like her harmonies in the back. Layering, people don't do vocal layering
They
anymore.
don't.
And she goes, how can one reach out? Tell me where to start. And she takes it from the first verse and she kind of turns it into a bridge moment. Tell me where to start. Because every time you smile, I feel trembles in my heart. I have but one concern. How can I get with you? Till my day comes, here's what I'm gonna do. And then she keeps repeating the chorus and ad-libbing over it. And I love it. I love that repetition.
Again, emphasizing the point.
And even like when I used to hear it on the radio, like rarely, but sometimes it is.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard it like a couple times, like twice, not a lot. I think it's important that she repeated the chorus because even when I'm singing on the radio, I keep thinking the second part of the chorus is I must confess I'm a mess for you, but she actually changed it to I'm just a mess with a thing for you. And so I think it's important. Let's take a break and we'll be back to discuss all things Brandy, and we're not talking about Melville.
Hey guys, we're stopping our very own podcast for our very own fake ad until we get sponsorships.
We love manifesting. Make sure to follow us on whatever social media you're on at PenPop Podcast to get notified for new episodes, because why would you miss them?
Or just talk to us in general on our personal accounts at DanteDidomenico_ and at Ary Dominguez Official.
And if you like what you're hearing so far, don't forget to leave us a rating or review from wherever you're listening to this podcast.
And now, back to PenPop.
PenPop. Brandy Melville, you know that brand? Because every time I talk to somebody, I'm like, do you know Brandy? And they're like, Brandy Melville? I'm like, no, bitch. Brandy Norwood.
And that's
the vocal Bible.
On culture people. Because I never thought of that. First of all, because I don't even know what Melville is. But I knew Brandy.
I've been in there a couple times, and it just looks like a sad beige baby's bedroom, okay?
Now that we've analyzed the lyrics, we have to get into the rollout of the song, the music video, the movie, and more.
As said before, Brandy's Sittin' Up in My Room was produced and written by Babyface after being inspired by Aaliyah's 1994 debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. The slick R&B song features a bass intro replication of Sly and the Family Stone's Thank You, and its LL Cool J remix, drum programming, synthesizers, Wurlitzer sounds, guitar, and Brandy's rich harmonies.
The song reached number 2 on the Hot 100 in R&B singles chart, Brandy's biggest hit at the time, and being certified platinum. Come on, get into the game.
Oh, yes.
How do you feel about the entire Waiting to Exhale soundtrack as a whole?
Truly, it is a comfort album for me. I think it's back-to-back hits.
And we're talking about that next soundtrack in the next episode, where we talk all things about Waiting to Exhale soundtrack. So if you want to watch that, make sure to follow us, subscribe, review, all of that, and come back next week.
Let's talk about the music video next. So the music video for the song was directed by Hype Williams, and basically it's Brandy ignoring her house party downstairs as she is in her room on her bed, dreaming about her lover and changing in various looks. She's kind of getting ready for the party too, with additional clips of the movie. So let's chat more about this. What did you think about the video, Ary?
Listen, the video for me, it's just like a girl fun in her room. I wish my room was like that.
The TV was so cool.
So, like, literally the first thing I saw was the TV. So I wanted to have the room like, I mean, not with the other side, but like, I think her room was cool. 1. 2, I love that there was like the little clips of the video here and there, and it was kind of integrated with the movie in a way, which makes sense. You have a soundtrack from the movie, and now it's a single, so you really want to connect with it and make the audience that watch that to come and watch your video. So I like that at all the time. Brandy did that, serving, outfits were on point, makeup was on point, hair was on point, all of it. I really loved the music video. One of my favorite music videos, to be honest.
Face card never declines.
And that's the thing about Brandy. She looks the same even now. Like, she looks the same.
Literally.
She's so...
We need the skincare regime.
Brandy is such a...
She's such like a youthful person. Like, she always has a youthful energy.
She's one of the people that has, like, she's able to, if she's 19, when she was 19, or now, like, I don't know how old she is, and we don't acknowledge time, like, she looks the same, and she's so transient. Like, not transient, like, she's been able, anywhere you pick her in time, she's that girl. She looks the same. She sounds the same. Like, her voice agility and her vocal range, it's just always been, like, good. Like, it's just Brandy. And there's not a time when you can say, oh, that doesn't sound like Brandy, or Brandy sound whack in here. Never. Don't get it twisted, people.
I agree. Absolutely, because B7 was amazing.
11.
I loved it.
What's it called? 1111? No, what's the song? 211.
211.
Yeah, or 11-2. I don't know.
This
Yeah,
one
I
before.
love
Yeah,
this
yeah,
shit. That
211.
shit, my shit. 211. I can't even remember.
Absolutely. If you put it down right, like the way I want, maybe
Bitch,
we
let
can
me tell
fall
you,
in
I
love.
plays that track.
If you put it down right, like the way I want it, play it God's way, maybe we could fall in love.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Full
absolutely.
Moon. My favorite Brandy deep cut is I Thought from Full Moon.
I thought that we could be. You laid a hold on me.
Can you hear me now? From 11. That shit. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me
Yep.
now?
Yep.
Can you hear me now? Am I getting closer? Can you hear me now?
And it's such a brand, whatever, and authentically needed.
And the choreo in the music video too. She was doing a little 1-2 step. Don't play with Brandy.
Tell me when to start, 'cause every time you smile, I feel tremors in my heart.
Brandy is one of the pioneers of Y2K. We don't talk
I
about it. Like,
agree.
in terms of her teen dominance between Moesha, she had her own Barbie doll. She had the music, the hits, and Whitney, and all these people, all these legends
Yeah.
approving of her. Plus the aesthetics, like you said, like the TV, the room, like it's very Y2K,
Pretty
and that
much,
was
pretty
only
much.
1995.
Okay, let's chat more about the movie, performances, and interviews. The movie.
I don't
Yeah.
want to go into it too much
In
because
the
we talk
next
about it a lot in
episode.
the next one.
But the song, what we can say is like the song is not necessarily connected as a whole with the movie. The song is
Yeah.
like part of the soundtrack. But the because even when I was watching the music video, I'm like, what does it have to do with the movie? It doesn't. It's just the song itself. What is she trying to convey? The message she's trying to convey, but not necessarily with the movie. So that's why to me there's not much of a correlation, other than when it's used in the movie, what it used for, and we'll talk about that in the next episode. So make sure to follow us.
Mhm.
Okay, bitches. Okay.
Agreed. But I like how they kind of integrate the soundtrack. Like they don't just put it in
No.
the back of the movie. Like I like how they use the radio DJ to kind of integrate it throughout. Like when they're in the car, they're introducing, "Hey, here's Brandy with her latest hit, Sitting Up in My Room." Or like, yeah, let's talk about performances and interviews. I mean, there's lots of times she performed this because at this time it was like one of her signature hits. And I'm not gonna say all of them were very different. They were kind of all the same. She was in a trench coat, giving vocals and harmonies and
I mean,
choreo. And honestly, like even though it wasn't like each performance wasn't so elaborate, I was still like seated for each one while
Yeah.
researching this episode because how can you not appreciate the choreo? How can you not appreciate the harmonies? Everything was perfect. But if I had to say like a favorite, was probably like at the Grammy Awards when everybody did a medley of their own thing. Well, we're gonna talk about that next episode as well.
I think that like this song for Brandy makes sense, and it's very much something she was like to be a part of the soundtrack itself. Though, like that's already like a gift and like something that not everyone gets to do, especially with all the divas. Not the divas. I don't mean diva in like a
Absolutely.
bad way. I mean like when we think of diva,
No,
I mean
like
like
we mean it in a good
supreme.
way.
That's what I'm thinking. Like supreme, legacy, legend.
Mother.
You know what I mean? And to be with all of them, like with Whitney and Aretha and all that stuff, like that song itself carries the potential to be a single that is, you know, very successful, which it was. And now she made a music video. Like it made sense. Like people don't do this anymore. People don't have that understanding of what a soundtrack really could be. You know what I mean? Because if people really like the movie and then they like your song, that's it. That's a really good thing to have. Look at Titanic. It made, I'm gonna say it made her career, but it kind of developed it even more. So
it like shot her into a
exactly.
peak.
So
like
you really have to, and I think she took full opportunity of that, Brandy. I mean, she took the role and said, okay, let's carry it out all the way. And this is what carries out in this track.
yeah. And then after was Never Say Never in the Boy's Mind, which was huge. Like Have You Ever in the Boy's Mind with huge #1 hits.
And it's a good song
So,
to
I
listen
mean,
to. Like
and
it's
then took it to
catchy,
full.
it's vibey, it's
Absolutely.
you can dance to it, sitting up in my room. Who can't relate to the lyrics? You have someone that you fantasize about, you wish you can confront them and be like, what's going on? What are we doing here? You know what I mean? So
Exactly. And I'm sure she was ecstatic to work with Whitney, who was like one of her big influences. She says in Garrett Kennedy's book, in defense of Whitney, didn't we all have it all in defense of Whitney Houston? She does the foreword of the book, and she talks about how she always grew up looking up to Whitney, and basically she tried going to her tour in like the 80s, and she was told her mom like, I'm gonna meet her, and she did not
She
meet
tried.
her. But she was crying and crying, and her mother was like, "Don't worry, you were gonna meet her one day. You're gonna be a star." And then you see them meet at the Kids' Choice Awards, and to being on a soundtrack with your idol and performing with her at the Grammys, and going on to do Cinderella, starring in a movie
Yeah.
with your idol. Like, it's just amazing to see that progression of their relationship.
Hey, baby girl.
Only extra with this amazing video, the superstar surprising her biggest fan.
Where you going? Don't you start crying and carrying on and stuff. Come here with your little pretty self. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud. Yeah, oh, look at you. How you handling it, huh? It's cool. It's cool. Come on, let's go and sit there.
It was her round moment. Like, it was perfect for her in a sense. Okay. So it's time for the sign off. What are our final thoughts on Sitting Up in My Room? I think that was kind of our final thoughts. Like, it just...
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, like, I just really think this is a very cohesive, consistent soundtrack where it's not just one song that was good. Like, for example, when we were doing the 50 Shades soundtrack, I think the first one was really solid effort. But again, like, aside from the singles and Haunted, like, and then I was looking at the second one, and that one they had Taylor and Zayn for I Don't Want to Live Forever. And then they had, like, a song from Dua Lipa, which I don't remember because it was when she was first starting. There was like an Ava Max song. And then the third one was like Rita Ora and Liam Payne. And that was, yeah. What was that again? It was like Song for You or something.
Don't tell that stuff for you. Don't do none of that to me. I don't know what's going on.
And it's like outside of the singles, like I don't know who's on the soundtrack. So but here you have like pretty much every A-list artist at the time. Like the only people they didn't get was like Janet Jackson and Mariah Carey. And like pretty much they had everybody else. So like who's doing that now? Like no one has that pull anymore to get everybody together.
It is.
It's messy. I don't know why. So those are my final thoughts. I love the song. It's a bop. It's a vibe. And the girls that get it, get it. The girls that don't. Okay, well, thanks for listening to this episode. I had a really fun time revisiting this. Make sure to check out our next episode where we go through every song on the Whitney Textile soundtrack. Leave us a review. Follow us on socials. You can find that all in the description. Tell your friend about the podcast. Ask your people in your circle if they know who Brandy is. And if they say Brandy Melville, get rid of them. Get rid of them expeditiously because that is not to be tolerated.
No.
Okay, and that is all. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time on PenPop. Bye.
PenPop is produced and edited by Ary Dominguez and Dante Domenico. Hosted by Ary Dominguez and Dante Domenico. Graphics created by Ary Dominguez and Dante Domenico. Themes music created by Ary Dominguez. Thank you to the listeners who support us. If you'd like to show your support or learn more information, visit the show notes in your podcast app.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by a copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Bye!